I got Gordy Jones, Mike Gross with me. They've covered Penn State all year. Gordy's been to all the home games. Mike, you've traveled with the team wherever they go. Let me ask you first, Gordy. 9-3 season. Is this a good year for Penn State?
I think they maxed out what they had. I think if you would have said back in August, given what we knew then about the quarterback situation, given what we knew about what they had, and also the schedule with it, the way it ended with Ohio State, Nebraska, Wisconsin, I think anybody would have signed on for that. I think they did about as well as they could have done, given that. And then if you throw in this incredible disaster that befell them midstream, I mean, nobody could have predicted that. Although this is something that, it's in retrospect, it's kind of surprising that everybody was surprised, because the story came out in March in the Harrisburg Patriot News that Sandusky was being investigated and by the grand jury. And when it hit. When the indictment came down, everybody, including Penn State, especially Penn State, seemed stunned by it.
Right.
So you had this incredible disaster dropped in the middle of this season that I think they did about as well as they could have done.
They had such a veteran club this year. I knew this had to be their year because they're going to have to rebuild the line for 4 years.
Both lines.
Offensive lines, what I was thinking, but you're right, both lines. Devon Still is gone. He's phenomenal. Offensively, it seems like it takes them 4 years to get a line up there, Mike. What happened in Wisconsin? You thought they were going to lose, but I don't think you thought they were going to lose that bad.
Well,
it looked that bad.
I thought their defense would do a little better. I didn't think they'd run up 45 on them, and that's the only thing. In fact, I predicted 27-10. I think so. I didn't think it was going to be real close unless some crazy things happened. But actually, some crazy things did happen. Penn State got a big play in the passing game. They got that running into the kicker, which gave them, some stuff happened that you thought would have to happen for Penn State to do well, and it's still 45-7. The only thing I would say about it was a good season. The only thing I would say is they didn't beat it. They didn't beat a really good team the way it turned out. Ohio State turned out to be not what it normally is. Illinois imploded. I think everybody thought Illinois was going to be pretty good, and they were not. They ended up not being. They might have been able to beat Nebraska under different circumstances, I think. Yeah. And then you're looking at 10-2, and of course that's good when you look at who the two losses would have been to Wisconsin and Alabama. I mean, come on. Wisconsin is, I think, clearly the best team in the Big Ten. I'm blown away by their quarterback. He would get my Heisman vote if I had one. I think he's just fabulous. So the two real substantial losses that they had were to really good teams, and I'd have to say, they did have a pretty good year.
My only problem is, like you said, they didn't upset anybody. These are all the wins they should have had. You look back on this now, and I can't remember the last time they really had a good quality win against a top 15 program. It's been a long time. Maybe LSU in the bowl game.
I would say Capital One Bowl. Yeah,
we're going back 3 years now.
It's right. They haven't beaten a top 10 team since Arizona, the opener of 1999, and even that's misleading because that Arizona team they finished 6-6, I believe it was.
So you're saying the last time they beat a top 10 team, Jerry Sandusky was the defensive coordinator.
Hello, yes.
Hello. Full circle.
Hello.
LeVar Arrington was playing linebacker then. What bowl? We're talking bowls here a little bit. 9-3 is going to get you to a good bowl, probably.
I think they're going to be somewhat hurt by the Sandusky mess, and some bowl people will regard them as toxic. I think that probably brings them down below like the Capital One Outback level. So now you're at the Insight Bowl, which is like fighting tax invasion because they're run by the same people that run the Fiesta Bowl. So they might be a little leery about bringing another scandal to town. But so now that takes us to the Gator Bowl or like the Meineke Car Care Bowl or something like that. I mean, they're not going to get a great bowl game. They're not going to get a high-level bowl game. I hope that we don't go to that Little Caesars Pizza thing, which is in Detroit on like December 27th or so. I mean, no, please no. But I mean, they're not going to get a great bowl. They're not going to get probably the bowl they would have gotten without the Sandusky mess. But they're going to get a bowl. One of these bowls. One of these deals there where if you happen to be sitting at home and it comes on ESPN, you might sit there and watch it. One of those.
Thank
bowls.
you for the positive report, Mike.
Glad to be of service.
Down by the river.
That was quite a rant there.
Went a little nuts there. Sorry,
Gordy. Any idea, or Mike as well? I'll throw it to you as well. Coaches, who they've opened up a search now.
Yes.
I think one of the biggest losses of this program was Urban Meyer just going to Ohio State. If there's any chances of getting him, he's gone now.
Right.
Here's
the name.
Still get a quality?
This is the name that Mike and I threw around and during one of those interminable drives up Mount Nittany. And that was Tony Dungy. And I have no idea if he wants to get back into coaching, but if you want to put a sheen back on your program, if you want to restore some of the luster through all this mess, he seems like he'd be the ideal guy to do it, if he wants to do it. And I have no idea if he wants to, but it just seems like that would be a great name to put
Almost
out there.
everybody you say sounds outrageous because either he wouldn't want it or him, really? You know, there's almost no. I'll throw the guy at TCU, Gary Patterson, I think is a terrific football coach.
Mm-hmm.
No idea if he'd want it. Dave Jones of the Patriots threw out yesterday. The guy at Harvard, Tim Murphy. I mean, he's a very good football coach. Would he be interested? No idea in the world. I mean, it's really hard. But if you're just thinking about handling the post-Sandusky era, you can't do better than Dungy, just in those terms. Just
now,
in those specific
but I mean,
terms.
he's kind of settled in now in TV. But then there's always the sentiment of once a coach, always a coach.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's certainly. I'd get on the phone to him.
I think they certainly would have to do their due diligence to call him.